going live, and I hope some.
Show Mason.
Yeah, we'll clip it on
Yep.
Twitch. Yep. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode one of, or I guess episode only of The Last Word. This is a Dota 2 talk show with me, Mason, or me, PPD, Mason, and GrandGrant. Um, don't have high expectations for this. This is pretty scuffed, but we're gonna just try to entertain you guys for about, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour until we get tired of talking to each other. So first off, how you guys doing? Welcome to the show.
I'll talk first, Grant. Let me handle this. I'm doing great. I just woke up like an hour or two ago. I took a shower. I shaved. I'm ready to impress with my knowledge and my looks.
Yeah, you're doing both already, bud.
Why'd you laugh? I don't understand.
No, I didn't. I just had something stuck in my throat. Sorry. No, I'm great, Peter. How about you?
I'm doing well. Came qualified to the major, and now I'm just chilling. I'm actually leaving for Ukraine for the We Play tournament tomorrow morning at like 6 a.m. or something. So it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, didn't you qualify for that tournament like a year ago or like 9 months ago?
Yep, me and the old NIP qualified for that tournament. I think close to a year ago, and they told us it was happening on this date, and then they said it got pushed back, and then they said, oh, it's going to be after TI, don't worry. I'm like, after TI? Like, there's no way we're going to have the same roster. Like,
Yeah, now they're just replacing all their teams with CIS teams. I don't know. It seems like a pretty easy tournament for a major player, Peter.
Yeah, I mean, we originally going as like we were kind of like scrubs, right? We're like, all right, we're just gonna go over to Ukraine a little bit, get a little last place payment, and be happy with that. But now we're like actually good, maybe. So when we saw Secret got one of the invites, I was like, what the fuck are these guys doing here? Like these guys are winning majors and they're just coming to like the little peasant tournament and just cleaning up.
Isn't it a decent amount of money?
Yeah, it's like I think it's like 300K. So
yeah, might as well clean it up.
okay, so did you guys let's talk about the qualifiers since we're kind of talking about it already. We just had the qualifiers finish. Did you guys happen to watch any regions in particular? I know Grant, you were casting a lot of NA.
Yeah.
I was playing in EU, so I'm pretty up to date on that one. Mason, you watching C or
Yeah,
China?
I watched mostly NA. I watched a little bit of OG. I don't know, man. I'm pretty disappointed by the NA qualifiers, honestly. I watch
Why?
OG play, and obviously, like OG is tier 1, but the way they play Dota, they're so fast, like they're so together. They don't really have a lot of flaws in their movement. But NA teams, they kind of just like sit on their side of the river and they just farm for like 15, 20 minutes, and they make like a lot of mistakes, like get randomly caught on the map, or they're not smoking for Roche or something. I don't know. It's like a completely different level of play, and it's kind of disappointing to see. But there are some good teams out there. Like I said, OG looked really nice. Secret, of course, looked nice. So
Yeah.
How do you compare the two though? Because you just said like OG's the best team or what?
well, I think OG is pretty fresh, right? Like they're missing a few players. It's gonna take some time to get on the same page. But from what I saw, they didn't really like. They're kind of playing the same style. Thompson's still playing his heroes. He's playing fast. He's building these really quick items like Medallion on mid heroes. Sumail's playing like the late game secure, Morphling, Spectre, and they're playing the same style. I feel like OG is probably going to be one of the best teams throughout the year still. I don't think they really lost a beat in their step. And then Secret, probably number 2. Grant, you watched NIP, right? How do you think they're going to stack up against OG and Secret?
Well, we played them both.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, of course you played them, but
Yeah,
I would say, I mean, it's pretty rough, right? Secret just won the major, and OG's the best team in the world. I would say they are a tier below. Sorry, Peter.
I feel like I could answer this question like much easier. Like,
sure.
I think that
take.
we got O2'd by both Secret and OG, and yeah, I feel like they were on another level compared to like the other teams. I think that in 2 of the games, I think we sort of held our own, but I think the other games, like when not only are you outdrafted, but you're also outplayed, and I think it makes yeah. I mean, I agree that they were on another level for sure. How that compares to other regions and their best teams, it's hard to say. And then also Secret and OG never played each other, but I felt like equally like when you play against a really good team and you kind of feel like an idiot or you feel like a noob.
Oh, I felt that before. Yeah, Sorry, 1 second. I played Infamous right at the Stockholm Major last year. I played versus Secret. That was probably the most severe beating I've ever faced in Dota. I was embarrassed. I actually felt embarrassed for myself. But
so
I know the feeling. Is what I'm saying.
You could definitely, sometimes you can just tell when a team is like sort of out of your league, and I definitely felt that playing against both of those teams. That being said, like obviously they're beatable, but just unlikely, right? I guess you could say. You said you were disappointed in NA. Grant, you watched. I actually watched a lot of NA, but it was so like it's so weird. Like you just have like the non-qualified teams playing against like the sponsored and teams that get paid, and it's like there's such a huge difference in jump there.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, and he's not wrong. EG was like the only team who looked any sort of good. Chaos didn't even look good.
Yeah, I saw like the business associates, like they almost beat Chaos. I felt.
Yeah,
and, like I
they
feel
could
like
have. They should have.
when they played that best of three in the major, was it?
Yeah.
The major bracket, right?
I
felt
the
like
semifinals.
business associates had all three of those games won, and they just kind of tossed all three of them away, or two of them away.
Yeah, I agree. NA. I don't know. Mason, like the Chaos, your boy Yawar, what's going on with him?
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of these NA games, they were just kind of thrown. Like I looked at these drafts. I have a pretty good read on these drafts for the most part, and I would watch these games. I'd be like, oh man, they got this 10th pick Nakes or a 22 pick Nakes, like free Nakes game. Like there's no way they can lose this one. And then these teams would just throw the games. They do like such weird plays. Like this Nakes hero should be able to carry this game solo, and I feel like these teams don't play around timings. They just farm their side of the map. I don't know. It's just insane. Like Zoomies were like threatening. Was it business associates? Was right?
It was.
Why is it insane?
Why,
I don't understand.
Why is it insane? Because these are this is EG. This is a tier 1 team. This is a top 3 team. They got second place at the last major, right? Like this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like how are they misplaying something as simple as Nakes? Like that's just insane to me.
I think sometimes you play to the level of your opponents sometimes. So I think like if you're a really good team playing in a really bad bracket, like obviously you're gonna look a little a little sloppy, I think.
Yeah, but do you think a team with like Snaking, Eternal Envy, and them should be even close against a team that just got put together only for this qualifier?
Oh,
absolutely not.
No, but like I think it's hard to know like what exactly is going on with that team. Like they could be in like a downtime, right? And it's not
that
like
team's definitely in a downtime.
but it's not like the Sammy Boy and the Zoomy stacks. It's not like those players are just totally awful. Like they're definitely skilled players. Like
Lukey one hero.
But I think like when you're playing at that level of matchmaking, like everybody is like it's almost like a big in-house league. Like everybody is kind of similarly skilled. And I think a lot of times you can take like one player off of another team and then put him on a really good team, and wow, okay, that team is still successful.
Do you think that would be all hypotheticals to either of you? So if we put Sammy Boy, like we swapped him for Yawar, do you think they would still be second place in the NA qualifiers?
That's a little bit too big of a jump for me.
Okay.
Oh, we got a Sammy Boy hater in the house. What's going on here, Peter?
Not a hater, just not proven. What am I supposed to say?
I agree. That's an honest answer.
I think they second place NA. I think they could do it. Yeah, I think if Sammy Boy replaced Yawar, they could still get second place NA.
Of course, they could do it. The question is, would they do it?
I think they would. I think they would. Let me change my words. They would do it.
I think the business associates would have won that series for sure if Sammy Boy was playing the carry for Chaos.
Yeah, I agree with that. Not to say it's bad, but it's a big jump. That's why I'm like, I don't know. How do you improve NA? Is NA Dota dead?
Well,
where's our new people?
We have the future DPC changes that were proposed that will hopefully help revive the North American region. However, I'm not really sure that's going to happen.
Dude, one of our teams fucking forfeit Alien Man and Banana. Besides being the biggest dumbass in NA Dota, like legitimately, I'll say it. He's the biggest dumbass in NA Dota. He just forfeit a spot and went and played a reach tournament. They should be DQ'd from all their points.
Yeah, I saw they lost their first game on day one in the major qualifier. They lost the first game in 20 minutes. They lost the second game in 13 minutes, and then they forfeited the rest of the tournament. So,
and went and played a dip run, and then he made a fake apology. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, just like either apologize or just don't play.
It's just like such a comparison between the quality of teams in your qualifier. when you see something like this going on, then you like look over at Europe and you're like, wow, like all of these players are, actually trying to like qualify to the tournament, and like all the games are like pretty competitive. It's like we had
Yeah.
Group B,
Yeah.
which was like super stacked for EU, which was, I mean, what did you guys think when you saw the group stage for Europe?
I mean,
Oh
it's just
yeah,
stacked,
Group
like
B
you said.
was way harder than Group A, like no doubt.
Yeah,
At
so
least assuming before, right? If OG was good, which they were, so yeah.
yeah, I was initially like a little upset about the groups, I guess you could say, but I didn't realize that the fourth place team got to play like a tiebreaker against the other fourth place team in the other group.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it was like everybody would have guessed Singularity to be the fifth place team in this group.
Yeah.
Um, but even like day one, like Singularity was took a game off of, I think they took a game off of Liquid or
Believe
something.
so. Wait, no.
Yeah, they went 1-1
Yeah, they
with
took a game off Liquid.
they went
Yeah.
1-1 with Liquid, and
It
made
was the
things
first
like,
game they played too. Yeah.
yeah. So,
I
um,
mean, did you think Europe deserved 2 minor slots too?
I think it's a little weird that they gave North America two, right? They gave them two major slots and two minor slots for the first qualifier of the year,
Yeah.
when the year before it was three, right? So they're obviously making changes, but to not make changes again, are they just trying to say that like no region should have more than three, right? Because what if you do give Europe a
Uh,
fourth slot or an extra slot, right? Is all of a sudden, is Europe then looking for another slot after that? Like, when does this end? Is Europe
yeah.
just becoming like the best place for Dota? So you are kind of limiting it by keeping the slots there, but maybe you are kind of limiting it for a purpose so you can still have international representation from all the regions.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fine. It's just clearly Europe does have the best teams right now, so
Yeah.
guess
Well, we
they
can
just have to try harder. I don't know.
let's talk about the DPC changes. Did you guys see these that were the leak or whatever they call it here that they posted on Wikipedia? They talked about the idea
Uh,
of creating regional leagues, eliminating minors, three
I heard some stuff
majors.
about it, but I didn't read like the skinny, as they
Same.
say.
Yeah, so it's just a new system, right? We had the same DPC system these past 2 years. Everybody was a little surprised that we kept the same one for this year from last year, since I don't know, there were so many like flaws that were
Yeah.
obvious, I guess you could say. Um, but yeah, tell me what you guys think of this. No minors, three majors. You have regional leagues that replace qualifiers. You have two tiers per league, so a team couldn't go, from nothing to the majors, I guess, in one cycle. So it'd be like you'd have up until the first major, cycle one, cycle two, cycle three, and then to TI you'd have cycle four, I guess. You'd have 4 cycles a year or 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And then you'd have a promotion relegation system for top placing teams in the minor league and bottom placing teams in the major league. And then teams would qualify to the minor league through open qualifiers.
I mean, I think it's funny, right? Looking at it through like NA standpoint, there's a this is going to be just not that many teams for all these 16 slots, right?
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
when I did
It's weird.
NADCL, we had over
Yeah.
60 teams signing up
Yeah.
and playing throughout the season.
Yeah. But
So
like teams that compete, right, is the thing.
yeah, but if you have, I mean, yeah, if you took the current NA situation and you gave what, an 8 team major league, right?
Yeah.
Like, even it's even hard to get like 8 solid teams, right? We saw like one of the top 8 teams just forfeited the qualifiers,
Yeah.
right? Then you need to get them to play in a league that's ongoing throughout the season. Um, I just think that the minor leagues, just the competition wouldn't be the same, basically, compared to other
Yeah.
regions. So
I feel like it would just be an amateur league and the other ones would actually be pro teams. It'll be weird. But if it's true, I mean, it's good, right, for the amateur teams as long as they take it serious.
maybe
Mason, would you make a
Yeah.
team if this thing was real? Would you
No.
look to make a team? You still wouldn't.
No.
Okay.
I have something to say, but before that, the PPD change your stream title. I thought it was
Oh,
like maybe
nice.
lagging at first, but it still says EU major qualifier here. Let's go or whatever.
Yeah, it's true.
So let's change the last. And then my point on the
Yo,
tier two
thanks,
scene and
Mason.
all this stuff. Yeah, no problem, Greg. We got this. But my point about the tier two scene and everything is that one, it doesn't get any viewership. We've kind of seen that in the past with NADCL and other things like that. Personally speaking, I don't really care. Maybe it's bad to say, but I just don't. Like, I'm not going to watch these teams. I don't think it's competitive. I don't think a lot of people find it competitive at all. I don't think it should be some charity case either. Like, there's a topic that was recently talked about. Garter, a tier 2, tier 3 European player, a pretty decent player. So am I.
Sure. I mean, yeah, I am, dude. Go on, though. Go on. I'll let you
Okay.
finish.
Okay. So this guy Garter, he's like saying, "Oh, there's no scene for me. There's no. I put in all this work, all this effort. I'm not rewarded for it." And Dota's a top-heavy game, but at the same time, I don't feel like it's necessarily incorrect. I don't think you should be the 15th best team in Europe and get a seat at the table, so to speak. I'm totally fine with like the top 5 teams qualifying for lands and everyone else can eat shit, so to speak. Like, this isn't some charity case. This is a
Agreed.
game. We play for fun. We play it to be competitive at the same time. But just because you're playing Dota and you're 7K MMR, you shouldn't earn some big salary. Like, fucking get better. Stop complaining. Like, it's a harsh view, and
Yeah.
this affects me directly too. So, like, me saying this, like, I'm tier 2, whatever. People's mind. This should be good for me, right? I should be like eating this shit up and be like, oh man, tier 2 scene. This is great. This is great. I love this shit. No, I think this is a waste of time. To be honest with you.
One of my big things and one of the reasons why I created NADCL was to give people a regular place to compete on a team, right? For it to actually make sense for you to create a team with, 4 other people that were like-minded to actually go after your goals, is because people were just playing solo matchmaking and just hoping that somebody on one of these top 4 teams would eventually just notice them and give them a slot on a team. And I honestly don't think, like, yeah, sure, that happens and works for some people, but I don't think it's like, I think you can actually have teams that just get better over time and all of the players on the team improve. But nobody's even trying to give that a chance. They're just sitting around waiting for nothing to happen. And so by creating like this regional league and giving people a regular opportunity for actual competition, they'll actually have incentives to like, hey, we're going to scrim this week. Or, like, I don't know, let's go over our matches. Or I feel like people just play the qualifier, get their asses kicked, and then just sit on their asses for like 2 months waiting for the next qualifier.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I feel like everyone kind of just like plays pubs and then AFKs. Like, all these tier 3, tier 2 players over, they play pubs AFK, and no one's actually getting better. I feel, at least in NA. I don't know how it is in Europe. Maybe there's a lot of scrims going on in the tier 2 scene and everything, but NA, I don't feel like anyone's actually getting better at Dota. I think everyone's just like dumb,
Do you
honestly.
do you think there's a lot of
Yeah.
people who would just say they're trying to be a pro just to like put off real life responsibilities of like getting an actual job?
For sure, without a doubt, it's games are an escape sometimes to people.
Yeah.
So I totally see that. It was kind of like that for me. Not like, I was still going to school and I still didn't know if I wanted to like deep dive into Dota, but it was definitely a nice outlet competitively and also to like kind of like shrug off real life for a little bit. So I get it.
Yeah. I think it's the same thing with streaming too, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, you got to put in the work as a low tier streamer," but at what point do you go like, "Man, I've been doing this for 2 years and like I haven't seen any growth. Like, when do I stop?" Right? But then you hear
Yeah.
about some story about your favorite streamer who's popular now and he goes, "Yeah, you got to put in the work. Like, I did that for
That's
3
load of
years
shit.
and had no
This
viewers."
is bullshit.
It's all
That's
bullshit.
actually the
Yeah.
biggest load of
This is
shit.
bullshit.
It's
Yeah.
it's luck, it's timing, it's everything.
Like,
Like,
yeah.
I'll
How
get
did
into a little
we all? Yeah. You go on.
I'll get into a little segue and then yeah. But I was streaming, right? Like, I played on EG, blah blah blah. I thought that was a little clout. I didn't. I just did streaming for fun. Never thought it was gonna be like a
Yep.
career or
The big
whatever, like
clout.
anything like that. Clout. But so I tried streaming after EG, like maybe an hour here, an hour there. No one watched me. Literally, no one watched me. It was sad. It was funny and sad. I'd get like 60 viewers after 5 hours. No one cared. And then I casted with Grant. Luck, fortune, whatever. And then I got 500 viewers the next stream. So Grant kind of gave me a little boost. And then slowly over that base, I've, built a following or whatever, a fan base. So I don't know, saying work hard, stream long, you'll get bullshit. It's luck, connections. Yeah,
I
Yeah.
was
I mean,
I
it's
always
a
believed in
mix.
you, Mason.
thank you.
What were you saying, Grant?
No, you're good.
Yeah, I was saying. I think Mason, we all knew you were a funny, entertaining guy, but you just had to show yourself to the world. And obviously,
You have to put yourself out there.
they love you back. And I love your stream, and I like how raw you are. You keep it real with your South American boys over there on US East. And
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm just saying, I used to play NA pubs. I know you gotta be bilingual in order to rise to the
Okay.
top. And
Yeah, you're almost top 10, right, Mason?
Yes, sir. Almost there. Big moment for me. Not my first time in the top 10. People think like, oh, Mason. What would the? Actually, I'm too stupid to find the word for it, but I'm always like hovering around rank 50. But you know what? I'm almost there. I've gone top 10 before. This will be the second time. Nice to have goals for yourself. Grant, I
Yeah.
hear you're getting back into the solo queue game as well.
Yep, playing some actual ranked Dota, a lot more turbo, actual Dota feels weird.
You winning?
It's whatever. Oh yeah, absolutely. Still shit on kids 1v1 middle. It's kind of that. No, I think I'm
Nice.
like Divine 4 or 5, so definitely room to improve.
Okay. I feel like we just segued like massively. What were we talking about originally? Do you remember?
The
We're talking about
qualifiers still
DPC
we're still the
changes.
and
Uh,
DPC.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then you mentioned the Garter story, and um,
Okay, Grant. Sounds like
No,
you've
okay.
laughed like twice.
Yeah, well, okay,
so
Mason. How long did it wait? How long did it take you? You did play League for a bit. How long did it
Yeah.
take you from starting to getting to the top league?
So I played League. Okay, so I won't try to talk about this too long, but I played League for a bit. I was pretty bad at the start, like most people are most games. Probably played up to 1,000, 500 to 1,000 rank games, and I was at around plat. And then I took some time off, and for whatever reason, I came back. A few seasons later, I picked one or two champions, and I climbed to top 200 very briefly. But yeah, it took me over 1,000 rank games, I'd say, to actually like
Okay.
get to the top level.
Okay, so we'll give him some more time. Gotcha.
that's a pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's 1,000 rank games, so that's not including like the unranks that you play with your friends and to level up the
Yeah,
account and everything.
gotcha. All
Uh,
right,
all
so
right,
I won't
great,
laugh.
great league segue. Back to the European or the regional leagues. So I think last year there's a great example of people who were really shorted out by the system, or the current system was Final Tribe. They were a team that played in Europe throughout the entire season, but they never qualified to a single minor or major. Right? There was only 10 DPC lands, and they never got to attend any, um, because they were the sixth best team in Europe. Right? That being said, if they had moved to South America, North America, somewhere else with less competition, they could have actually gone to events. Do you think that like having a regional league system that like promotes, I don't know, where like I feel like the way it's going to be is like I think of like soccer or football, right? For our European fans, like the how European football is the most popular sport in the world, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Internationally
if
and
you,
everything.
yeah, if
So
you
like
want to, yeah, if you
so
want
like
to say, then back up with stats.
do you think there's any chance that it's going to like that is the way that Dota is eventually going to look, where like the China and European regions that are just so popular compared to the other regions that like players get paid more to play in Europe, the regional leagues have more prize money, they have more sponsors. Doesn't like would all of a sudden EG just want to move to Europe to play in Europe because they can compete in the regional league, or is it just always going to be focused on like just getting to TI and just getting the free spots in different regions?
I mean, that's how it has been, right?
Yeah, I
So
just
I
think
feel
just
like
stay like that.
what if there was such a bit like what if there was a huge difference between North America and Europe?
I mean, there already is there?
No, but and actually like regards to like how much prize money you can earn throughout the year, how
Oh,
much money
oh,
you
how
can
much
make
prize
like
money?
on your
Yeah.
salary, like all these things.
Oh,
I
then yeah.
don't. Isn't that stuff gated to the tier two teams though? The teams that can't compete at the major. That's my understanding of this new system. It's the teams that qualify for the major are ineligible to play in these regional leagues, these tier two leagues. It would seem super unfair if like the
No,
big
there's
dogs like EG and OG can play
no because
in these smaller tournaments.
this replaces qualifiers. So the big teams play in the leagues, and because the big teams play in the leagues, they draw the viewership to the lower teams. They play against the lower teams on a regular basis throughout the year, and those leagues, as a result, like they get to collectively sell sponsorships and generate revenue based on like the entire region. So like Secret, OG, Nigma, NIP, we'd all play in Europe, and we would probably be the 8 major teams, and then there would be like a 16-team minor league that like less people would watch.
How do you determine who goes to the majors then?
I think you just
If they get rid of the qualifiers, like you just
either
said.
either you run a regional final, right? Maybe Europe would be even popular enough to run like regional championships on LAN potentially. Like we saw the EU qualifier numbers were totally absurd for this DPC cycle. And then sorry. the top placing teams in the league, you would just send them to the international events, which would be the DPC majors.
Mason.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we're just speculating here, right? But I feel
Definitely.
like, yeah, we're definitely speculating here. I don't think the top teams will be playing with the minors. That just sounds like, I
No,
understand,
definitely
like,
not.
to draw viewers. Yeah, so
But the top teams would play against themselves on a regular basis in those leagues, right? Like to actually like play in the European League, you'd actually have to live in Europe, right? Imagine that.
yeah, I don't think they'll differentiate the prize pool much, regardless of what's going on. Like if Europe's has the better teams or NA, uh, it's not Valve regulated, is it? Have they made that clear? The tier 2 is not Valve regulated, like the upcoming DPC changes, or is it?
I don't. From what I understand, that they're probably just going to take bids for like certain, like an ESL or a Mars to like run a regional league, but they would control like the whole thing throughout the entire season. I think.
I see. So they wouldn't contribute to prize pool, you think? They would just like regulate and make sure like tournaments aren't like fighting over
No,
each other and
I
like,
think Valve would contribute. I have no idea actually. I mean, I have no idea. Probably.
yeah, it's all
I think they're
speculation.
going to contribute some amount, right? And I think that yeah, maybe you're right. Valve will contribute the same amount to each region, but what those regions are able to do on their own outside of that, I think is going to be based on like the popularity of their league and the number of eyeballs that watch their tournaments, right? So it's going to be more valuable to run Europe than it would be to run North America.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. True. Big true.
Big true.
Grant, any thoughts on all that? Any thoughts
Well,
on any speculation yourself on as to what we can expect of the
I mean, I would just be
changes?
curious if they did make those changes. Are they gonna not allow people to stream the games anymore?
That's what do you guys think
That's the
of that?
question.
Like Grant, you were streaming EG's
Uh,
games. You had Gork and
yeah.
Bulldog over there streaming Europe as always.
I mean,
You guys just destroy.
I just have been doing it since like 2014. So for myself, I just enjoy casting the Dota. You know, big numbers are cool too, but I mean, if we can't do it, we can't do it. I'll just cast on the official channels if they ever ask me.
I think that's like one of the issues is like all the tournament organizers want exclusive rights to their broadcast, right? They want
Yeah.
exclusive rights to the games that they're, helping make happen. But Valve isn't giving them like the opportunity to have exclusive broadcast rights over Steam TV, like Dota TV.
Yeah.
So then you guys get to like just come in and just like
Which is obviously like nice for me, right?
I
I
mean that's
love doing it,
the
but like it does hurt. Like the overall, it might hurt. I mean, I can't be, I don't have
truth
the
of the matter
stats to
is
back
like
it up.
you, Gork, Bulldog,
Yeah.
etc. Like you guys are giving people the best product, right? That's
The
why they
product they
watch.
want, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, they watch you because they like watching you better than the tournament stream, right? So you
Yeah.
actually are presenting a better product. So like, I don't know. What do you think as somebody who's doing that? Like, would you be willing to cast like online games for ESL? Right? Would you like
Yeah.
cast for their channel and put their sponsors up and all that shit if they like hired you to do it?
Yeah. I mean, I would. I've always been pretty open about casting whatever, casting on their channel, casting on mine with their stuff. Like, it doesn't matter to me.
You don't think
I just
there's
don't
no
think.
like pullback from you to like not cast on your own channel and be like ultra benefiting yourself?
I mean, I really don't care if they just shut me down. It's fine. I'll still be a caster, right?
Yeah. What number would
Uh,
you want to get paid to
for what?
to not cast those qualifiers you just did
How much money I don't want to see? I mean, honestly, they could just invite me to cast them on their channel, and then I would.
for nothing?
But I mean, I would obviously want payment, but like people still get paid. From what I've heard from the people who do cast the qualifiers, they get $50 a BO3 now or something. I don't. I
Yeah,
mean, that's definitely
exactly.
underpaid, but I'd still do it.
I mean that's
Like I,
no, but that's shit. Like that's shit for you. Like think of like all
yeah,
the exposure you gave
It's
yourself by
super
casting these
shit.
EG games. Like you had like, over 20,000 viewers,
yeah,
right?
because
For
I just
like
like casting. I
six
don't know.
plus hours. But like okay, think of Gork, right? He's casting for OG, right? Just doing OG.
Yeah,
They got all this Red Bull hype behind him. He's casting to like 50K plus viewers, right? Like how is that? How much is ESL going to pay him not to cast their games? Like twenty thousand
nothing. Because there's
twenty thousand
yeah, who
dollars
knows?
like
Shut it. I'll take 20 grand.
I mean, he probably made a ton of money during. I wonder if he was running commercials, but
Oh, yeah. Are you serious? Mason runs commercials with 100 viewers. Shit,
I think if
you
you're
got
a
to make that
Twitch,
money.
100 viewers. What the hell?
I think if you're a Twitch partner, you're supposed to run like X amount of commercials per hour.
Yeah, I believe you're supposed to, but like they don't really until you get a bunch of viewers, they don't really care about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, you're supposed to?
Yeah, I mean, you're literally supposed to, I believe, but I have no clue. That's insured deep
Oh.
down in the contract.
Yeah, no. I mean, nobody really. Twitch is like pretty hands off. I think as long as you're not
What I'm saying
saying
is I would
gamer
be
words.
yeah, I would just be sad if I couldn't cast a qualifier since I've been doing it for literally since like even Han. And then if it just gets canceled, I mean, it'd be shit. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's a weird balance. I'm not sure where
Yeah,
the
it definitely is.
not sure where the middle ground is.
Um,
Okay, let's move on to another subject, guys. We have the coronavirus plaguing the international globe, but as a result, the question is the Chinese teams, are they going to be able to attend the LA Major? Because I don't think the U.S. is letting any Chinese people into the country at the moment.
is that like factual? I haven't actually read up on that.
I think I heard that if they,
Is that like
so I heard if you're from China, if you go to like another country for 2 weeks and like I don't know,
yeah.
don't have the coronavirus, then you can go to the U.S. Um, let's just say hypothetical word, right? We're speculating. None of the Chinese teams get into the major, right? So we need 3, potentially 4 new teams to go to the major. How do we do it?
You just let the community pick. I'm just kidding. Can't do that
Okay.
the major. Go on, Mason. You have thumbs up.
Oh, I was just gonna say, probably just take the next best teams from each region, right? Like whoever got the
But there's 6 regions.
third. Ooh, there's.
All those teams are
Well,
going to the
yeah,
minor.
Yeah, but obviously, yeah, that's the problem. That is the problem right there. These teams are going to the minor. Like you'd have to like do over the qualifiers, so it does get tricky. Then let me use some brain power skills here. Does anyone have anything off the top of their head while I use my brain power to figure this one out? Peter,
I think we're fucked. Honestly, like I think
you
that
think we're fucked?
I think we're fucked, right? If the Chinese teams don't get in, then you try to replace them. I mean, who do you bring? Do you bring Liquid, who didn't manage to qualify to the minor but are still a good team? Do you bring Nigma? Do you bring Zoomies from NA? Like,
I think.
regardless of
Yeah,
what you do,
think-
you have to wild card something.
the
right?
integrity of the DPC is totally ruined.
I think the most logical thing I've deducted a solution actually already.
Thank you.
The most logical thing is you bump everyone up one space in each region, and then I mean 6. I don't know how many slots China has, but anyways,
yeah,
for like the first 3 or 4 or whatever, bump everyone up one spot. So Alliance qualified for the minor, right? Give them a major slot, and then give the second place of the minor qualifier, which was Nigma, give them the minor slot, right? Just bump everyone up one in the standing, and then go from there. However many teams are left, I can't do math right now. I just use all my brain.
So, as somebody who's playing at the major, it's my first major of the season.
Congrats.
We went to we went to the last 2 minors. We got last place at both of them. It was really fun. It was really fun. But I feel like this is a huge opportunity for us to catch up to the other teams in DPC points, especially our rivals like Liquid, Alliance, Nigma, etc., who managed to get points at the previous events that we didn't get. So if they're all of a sudden just going to be handed free spots, even though we beat them in the qualifiers, our points are just, we're just going to need so many more points. And China as a region entirely is going to be missing out on 3 major slots of points for the season, 3, maybe 4, right?
That's true.
How
That's
does this?
true.
How do you balance some
delay
mess
it?
like this? Do you?
I guess you gotta delay it.
So
Or
I think it was last 2 seasons ago, right? I was on Optic and we qualified for, I don't know, the event that was in, I don't know, there was some event that just got canceled, right?
yeah.
I don't know if it was Galaxy Battles, maybe, but it could have been something else. The event didn't. The event, okay, it wasn't the event that happened that nobody got paid. It was the event that just actually didn't happen. But it was one of the few majors that we managed to qualify for, and
it was Galaxy Battles, yeah.
and if you
Galaxy
remember,
Battles 2.
Optic was, you had to get top 4 or top 6 to get points that year. I think it was top 4. We were like 1 placement away from earning enough DPC points to get invited to TI. But this major that was in like the last seven, it was in the last like 25% of the year, just disappeared. So all of a sudden we just weren't going to an event, even though we beat the other teams who beat us in other qualifiers for different events in that qualifier. So we felt really cheated that this event just didn't happen because we missed out on a huge opportunity. What if they just remove DPC points entirely from ESL LA?
I mean,
Oh,
that'd be bad. They got to do something though. So
I feel like that would mold some folks out there.
I would definitely be
Yeah.
pretty mauled.
Yeah.
they can't do that. I don't know.
So China's
You know,
getting
you did
0
bring up
points.
No, you brought up a good point. I actually totally forgot about China and their points and everything, how they just get 0 for the entire land, which is retarded. They should. Oh, sorry, I don't think I can say that word on your
Yeah,
stream.
chill with your gamer words, Mason.
Okay, I mean, it's not really a game word, but anyways.
All right, now Mason's gonna laugh for the next 2 minutes. So.
Anyways,
yeah, go on.
no.
Yeah, Grant,
Anyways,
you go.
I think they have to push it back, like Grant said, like actually push it back so all the Chinese teams can go, or they have to host it in China. ESL LA becomes China.
ESL Shanghai.
Yep, exactly.
Then we all go to China. We all get stuck in China because we can't go back to our home countries because they're worried we
That's
have the
the price
coronavirus.
That's
All
the
right,
price
so
you pay.
I guess I won't be going to the major.
Yo,
What
I
can you
feel.
do?
Are we sure people so they can't come to the country as of now?
I don't know. I heard Chinese people are definitely having problems going to countries. I heard that somebody in North Korea got like shot in the streets for going to China and coming back and like having this disease.
Peter, this sounds like you read TMZ.
I mean, crazy shit happens in North Korea, Grant. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Chat, back me up. Back me up, chat.
Wait, what happened? Wait, the coronavirus. Wait, the coronavirus was in North Korea.
Yeah, not anymore. They got rid of the problem.
What is Peter talking about? All right, go to the next topic. All right, next topic.
Next topic. All right. So we got the three. Oh, so I got a question for you guys. Nigma and Alliance. These are two teams we said they played at the previous events and stuff.
Scrubs. Yeah, come on.
How do you think they like? How do you think they're going to handle not going to a DPC event? Entirely.
I mean, it's a good question.
I mean, they've been at like the past two TIs. They've been at like every single major.
I think for Nigma, right? There's going to be changes, right? I know people don't want him to, but
Really? People don't. Want
I mean,
them
no,
to?
people want him to, and it's been
Oh,
what 2
sorry.
things now. Yeah, my bad. No, I did say that wrong. I don't know. I think for them, they're going to change. I think for like the liquids and alliances, like teams like that who aren't going to go to one. I know one of them is, but I think they're just happy for a break, right? At this point, I don't think they'll take it that harsh.
Ooh.
I think it sucks, but
Peter, looked like you had a little bit of a disdain in that comment. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I don't think the ESL LA major is the one you want to miss out on if there is one. And I also think that like I don't know, I feel like in the middle of the season like this is just when people are really getting like amped up to go like to the, start their run to the end. So, I would feel I mean, I actually kind of expected that for ourselves like before we started playing in EU. I thought like, it's very realistic and possible that we don't qualify to the major or the minor because of how stacked Europe was. I was just like, I don't know, we got like crazy lucky, or I don't know, I don't know. But I mean, it would suck, but like, I was kind of like okay with the idea because we were gonna like keep practicing and like try to improve for like the next cycle. But I felt like these teams, like they've been going at it and I don't know, they've been going at it for a while. I was just surprised that I'm curious like how they'll handle just not playing for 2 months because it's not like they're going to the We Play tournament either. Like they're pretty much just going to be playing pubs and scrimming and just doing nothing for a long time, right in the middle of the season. So maybe we will see changes, I guess, or maybe I don't think the Liquid team will change, but maybe Nigma will.
Yeah, I don't think Liquid will change. I think they'll stick together and try to work something out. But now, do I think Nigma will change, and do I think they should change? That's two different things, right? I think they should. I think probably get rid of Re.
Mason's broken.
Yeah, this
Okay,
on you.
I don't know.
It was the North Korea comment. Too much.
I think we has failed to impress. I don't know if you guys agree, or am I alone here?
They got second place at TI, so it's kind of hard to like say anything negative.
Sure, he got second place at TI, but what has he done lately, and has he impressed you? I mean, do you not want to answer the
No,
question?
and
Do you
no.
not have an opinion, or
For me,
He is
no.
not impressed.
okay? No, what Grant? You said no as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 no's across the board, ladies and gentlemen. Cut him from the team. Nah, but yeah, I think he's just failed to impress. I think he's had a lot of opportunities.
Agree.
It just kind of seems like his hero pool is outdated, or like one-dimensional. He just seems to play like Huskar and TA, like these really broken 99-1 matchups kind of thing.
Yeah.
And when he's put on even footing, he just seems to not have much impact in the game. He doesn't play some of the newer heroes and more meta heroes too. Like, he didn't really play Void Spirit, did he? I don't think we saw him on that.
I think we hot played it a couple times. I'm not sure how good he did.
It must have been so that I must have not noticed. You know what I'm saying, gentlemen? But,
Yeah, that hero's, I don't know. That hero's pretty high skill, I think. I've only seen
it's
like
very high skill.
Thompson is like the only one who I'm just like, all right, we're not playing against that.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely high skill. I just think, yeah, I mean, the overall theme has just failed to impress, and they clearly are lacking in some department, and sometimes new blood is all you need to get the ball going. So, yeah, I think they should make a change. Now, will they? Hard to say. You know, at the mind of a Kuroki.
They did before TI, right? And that definitely worked out for them, right? Bringing Weeha instead of Matumba, man.
Yeah, I don't even think that was a good player-to-player change, but new blood. Maybe it just like sparked something inside them. They felt, you know, you're a captain of a team, Peter. You've been a captain of many teams for a long time. Sometimes you feel like some player just isn't working out. Grant, just sometimes you feel like a player isn't working out, and it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. You know, you just feel like he's not working out. Maybe the team feels the same way, and you got to cut them loose and hopefully start anew.
Sometimes you just hit a wall, right? As a team, like you've tried everything that you know to improve, it's just still not working. You know, maybe a roster change is going to change the dynamic. It's going to, you know, change the way your team works, and hopefully for the better, right? I mean, you got to do something. You can't just sit there and be complacent losing all the time.
Yeah.
True, and true.
All right, cool. I had one more big question for us here before we go. And Grant, you've been to the last 2 TIs, right? Shanghai and Vancouver, and you were at all the TIs in Seattle. And so was I. I feel like TI is just not the same when it's not in Seattle. What do you guys think?
100%.
I think it's so cool that at TI it's like we're all coming to Seattle. We're like entering like Valve's backyard. We're all going to the office.
Exactly.
You get all these follow-alongs. You know, you have all the Valve employees there. You see everyone. You have the nice, you know, Valve dinner. It's like it's got like this different. It's got like the TI Seattle magic, and I feel like Shanghai and Vancouver have been like glorified majors.
No, I agree. Even like the stuff outside the events and all that. No, but it's just the fact that since TI2, you knew it was always going to be in Seattle. And then we hit TI8, and then it's not in Seattle anymore. And it's just, I don't know, it doesn't feel like the internet. It still feels like the international, obviously, Dota-wise, but the whole thing of it not being in Seattle, yeah, I agree. It's kind of a sucks now.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Not sucks. That's a big word.
No,
it's kind of like
it does
semi-suck. Like a demi-suck, yeah.
Like a demi-suck. But I haven't been to a international outside of Seattle, right? I've been to 2, but I have not been to Vancouver or Shanghai. So I'll just say my experience at TI is unforgettable both times. It was really special. I've been to lands. Why is you laughing? But I've been to a few lands and they just didn't match up. I don't know if it'd be the same outside in like Shanghai. I don't know if I'd have that same feeling, but I can just say from my experience in Seattle, it's really special. You do not forget that kind of moments, the moments you make there. So yeah, very special.
That was touching, man. That was touching. I agree entirely.
Still remember my first dinner, drunk on the floor.
Yeah, I remember it too, man. I'll never
remember
that
that
photo.
too. Yeah, you took some pictures of them.
Yeah, of course, man.
Very, very special stuff.
Dude,
Very heartwarming.
can we talk about that one time? That was TI4 Mason, and all I remember was we were in a hotel room, and you're like, "I want to go downstairs." You were drunk, obviously, and Charlie said, "Only if you have someone responsible go with you." And then I said, "I'll do it," and then he just let us go. Like, what was that? Why would he?
I
do
don't remember
that?
any of that. I must have been blacked out as always.
No, you were. Why did Charlie let me? This was drinking, Grant. Take Mace. Whatever. Yeah, Charlie. I see why he's not a manager anymore.
Yeah, I was a mess of
Yeah.
that tournament too. We were all just kids back then, you know. We made mistakes.
Now
Not
we're
my
grown
fault,
ass
man.
men.
Oh, yeah, we're all adults here now. We're all
Yep,
like
man.
40 years old.
Thank
We're
you.
Yep.
boomers.
Yeah, I got some
It's
grown
true.
ass man shit to do.
Yep. So do
Damn.
All right, so are we coming back to Seattle after Stockholm? I feel like Stockholm's probably gonna be underwhelming as well.
we need to be. I mean, I think it's dumb if we don't come back.
Are the key
Isn't
arena?
like, yeah, I was gonna say, isn't one of the only reasons we're like in different countries and continents and everything because Key Arena is under construction? It's like kind of a.
I mean, I definitely feel like that's an issue, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully that's the issue. Hopefully it's. Does anyone know if Key Arena is like finished with construction this year?
Yeah, I just talked to my cousin who works over there.
I was gonna say, I just talked to the contractors. It's almost done.
Yeah, we're good. All right, now let me actually Google it. Is that what you wanted to do?
Dude, we actually have no facts on this stream. Did we present any facts today?
All right, wait. It says
Yeah.
renovated 2018 to 2021. It should be done. We're in 2020.
Wait, you said it's done in 2021. How can it be done? We're in 2020.
Wait, when in 21 is it done? Because I feel like the international
I
could be a
don't know.
great kickoff event for the new stadium.
Dude, I can't do it, Mason. I don't know. It doesn't say. It just says 2021.
That's it. That's all your cousin knows. The year.
No, that's all Google knows. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, your cousin's named Google.
All right, give me a sec. Give me a sec. I might have found some.
This is Investigator Grant.
New arena at Seattle Center construct. Wait, I don't even think this is the same place.
We're looking for Key Arena, KEY, right?
Yeah. I'm not doing it. You're the host, Peter. It looks like the facts match up. Seattle TI is gonna come back. TI 12, baby.
What about where's TI 11, man?
What an 11?
I think we're gonna hold that in like a cool place, like Antarctica or something, like somewhere like where we do it first. You know, Australia.
I've never been
No,
to Greenland. Yeah, Australia. TI 11 out Australia, actually.
that would be hype. That'd be the one place I'd be okay with being outside of NA.
I was gonna say, yeah, Seattle sucks. Australia's better for sure.
You said Australia?
Yeah.
man. I've never
Or
been to
Austria.
Australia. I would actually go if I wasn't playing, not casting, whatever. I would actually go to a TI in Australia. I'm not even crapping.
That flight's
But
like
actually-
30 hours.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta suck it up, Peter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trust me,
I feel like Peter, you as a player, you've been pampered for so long. You know, it's tough. It's
True.
tough. Like Mason's here digging out of the dirt,
yeah.
living the hard
Eating
life.
worms. Gotta do what I gotta do to survive out here. You guys ever eat a worm before? Like, unironically, like, just do it? No.
I did it when I was like 8. When I was like 8. Peter, you gotta wrap this shit up.
I also ate a grasshopper.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you guys wanted to share anything else with the stream before we called it a night.
Yeah, shout out to all my fans out there. You know, big ups to you guys. You know, I'm glad you're not like Mason fans. You know, a little low IQ. That's about all I got.
Okay, and
Okay.
yeah, no, Mason, you
Oh,
go,
you
man.
got-
No, you go, man.
You got this, man.
I'll go last. I'll go last.
Okay, yeah, I thought you were the host, like, you know, right? Okay, anyways, but so shout out to all my sponsors. You guys don't.
Adidas.
Yeah, Adidas, the old crapping crowd.
All right, wrap it up, please, Peter.
Shout out to all the real ones. You know who you are.
Okay, yeah, I'll give a shout out to the real ones as well. Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in, guys. When's episode 2?
Hopefully never. Just kidding.
I think we can
Oh,
talk
whenever you
about
want.
that off stream. We can type some things and
All right.
figure out a plan.
I think episode 2 is going to come when we have enough to talk about to fill up another 45 minutes. Obviously, we're a little bit short tonight, but we, go ahead.
I have a suggestion to make before we go. I think we can invite guests I think that spices it up and adds new content.
That's gonna be
I suggest
another
for-
level of production value for me.
I think maybe invite Vanessa.
As a
I
first
think
guest.
we should. No, you should get Jubei. What? Why are we laughing at?
I think Jubei would be a
With the
great
new
guest.
regional qualifier, yeah, I think we should learn a little bit more about him.
Yeah, actually, that'd be a homegrown little NA podcast thing we got here.
Do you think people would
Talk
actually
to the
agree?
tier 2 NA players.
Do you think people would agree to come on the show after?
Of
I
course
think
they would. That's clout.
It's clout. Like, you don't realize, like, after this stream, Mason, his Instagram DMs are they're already popping from what I can see.
I've already read them. I have 7,000 right now.
Yeah, people definitely would.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna call it. Yep, Mason's got some DMs to attend to, and yeah, I gotta end this. So everyone, thanks for watching. This has been this has been the last word. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Is it off, Peter?
Nah, not yet. I was gonna do like a little transition thing here at the end. Fuck, dude. How do I?
I want to.
Don't say anything inappropriate just yet.